Hello. What's up? It's Real Blue back again with another video. Today, we're talking about how there's a draft system in Rogue Company now. That's right. You heard it correctly. So this is something that I was told about, rumored about, and then a dev told me straight up, not going to tell you which one, while we were at the LAN event in January. They told me, hey, this is going to be in the game. This is a thing, right? They did it in Smite. They did it in Paladins. Now they're doing it in Rogue Company. There is a draft. Like, we already have bans, right? So that's been a thing. So when we say competitive, it mirrors what ranked does, right? So in ranked, we had, you pick your character. Then we had bans implemented, and now we have a draft system. There's a lot of problems with this draft system. Number one is there's still only one ban. I know a lot of people out there believe that there should be 2 bans for each team, so 4 total. I'm okay with only 1 ban right now per team, but the draft needs to change, right? And I'm so glad that the game does have a draft. A lot of people, especially comp players, might not like it to begin with, but I think it's awesome because right now it's basically, we have different maps, and then we kind of opened up the map pool during the 3v3 period and said, okay, none of the maps are GA'd. You got to play all the maps. You get to ban a map. You get to ban 2 maps, at the start of every series before whoever else you're playing against, and they get to ban 2 maps. And that was kind of awesome because that brings in a little bit more strategy, right? You got to be able to say, okay, what comps or what rogues, what strats can we effectively execute on this map, right? As opposed to a different map. Maybe we can't get away with it on a different map, but we can do it here. And that's one of our strengths. So let's try and get that map to be played a lot, right? That was one thing. Another thing is that now with a draft system, choosing what map you're on is very important, determining by what team you're on. Also, trying to figure out what rogues you want to be able to pick, and if you're going to be attacking or defending first, because that's going to play a part in who gets first pick, things like that. So I actually got a couple notes here. And it seems I have to put my phone on silent because people want to send PlayStation messages right now. So there's 1 ban each. And right now, the way the system works is it's, we'll say attacking team bans 1 and defensive team bans 2 or bans 1. And then it is the first team picks 2 rogues, and then the second team picks 2 rogues, and then they pick 2 rogues, and then they pick 2 rogues. And that's it. That's how it goes. 2, 2, 2, 2. Terrible. All right. And I'll tell you why. Also, at halftime, you don't redraft. Okay. So whatever rogue you pick in the draft at the beginning of the game in Demolition is the rogue that you're going to play throughout the entire game, both on attack and defense, no matter which side you start on. The good thing about this is that there's no mirrored rogues and there's no mirrored comps. This means that if there's a glitch on the, team 1, then team 2 cannot have a glitch, right? This gets rid of one tricks because now, right now in competitive, it's who has better gun skill. Hey, let's load up our team on 3 players that are good on these rogues. Don't get me wrong. They're good on these rogues. They're good at the game strategically, but they are just going to outgun people 9 times out of 10, right? Now it's, hey, we're back to 4v4. This person that was on our team, do they really fit our play style if we're not able to get, a lot of people, I'm going to throw Joker under the bus. A lot of people back in the day, not anymore now, but I'm saying this could happen now, where they're like, he just plays Kestrel. Imagine if you can't get Kestrel every time. How much value does that player have on your team now, right? So that's an important thing. I'm actually gonna talk about how we can improve this draft system. We giving it 2 bans each for each team, that could improve it. And that's also a simple way to break up how the bans happen, right? So basically, if you're first pick, you should be able to ban first and get 1 pick, the first pick, okay? Because you're first pick. That's your, in ranked, it's because you have higher elo, or In competitive, it's because you chose to be on attack first. You got to choose. It's your map pick. You get to be on attack first, right? Or you're the higher seed, whatever. You get to be that, right? So, hey, I want first pick. So you'll be able to ban first and get one pick, first pick. After that, I think the other team, to counter the fact that they don't get first ban or first pick, they should get 2 picks. Okay? And then after that, I think it should be so it's 1 ban each, and then after that, I think they should do where team 1 will pick 1 character, and then ban, and then they get their second ban, and then this team will get their second ban, and then this team will pick 2, and then this team will pick 2 as that counter pick, right? And plus, you can guarantee yourselves each 1 good pick before those bans are implemented in, right? Or 2 good picks to implement yourselves in. I think that would be good if we added a second ban. It's really wonky because if you look at all the games that do have draft systems, like League of Legends, like Smite, like Paladins, or Mobile Legends Bang Bang. I mean, there's tons. Mostly they're MOBAs. Rainbow Six Siege as well. The games that do this, it's an odd number of teammates, right? Of players on each team, usually 5v5 in the examples that I listed. So, first pick will take 1, then 2, then 2, then 2, and then 2, and then they'll get their final counter pick, which is that 5th one, right? So the draft begins with just 1 pick, and it'll end with just 1 pick, with 2s in between. League and Smite get a little wonky now because they have bans in the middle because there's a ton of bans. They have literally over 100 characters in each of those games. So I think that's really where it gets complicated with Rogue, is that there are only 4 players on each team. That's an even number, so that's difficult to get a ban system that works out beautifully. Right now, everyone wants 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, which I think is okay. I'm actually going to show you some examples because there is a video on my channel. You can go back and watch it. I'll even put the link in the description below. We did a $200 wager match where we added draft systems and we had to do it out of game. So before we got into the game, we had to do it. And the way that we did it was a couple different ones. And I'll show you right now as we get in. So we did a couple different ones, right? So we were discussing before we even did it, how we were going to do it. There was some more people talking in general chat, but this is back in February. So this is February 5th that we did this. So the first game, what we did was we drafted for both halves before we got into the game. So what we did was we would draft for half number 1. So this was Canny's team. This was P Story's team. It was Demolition, and we were on Canals. So, each team got 2 bans. Those 2 bans, though, were at the very beginning, before any picks came through. And then the characters would be picked, and we did it different ways. So I believe what we did was we did A, B, B, A, B, A, B. Or no, we did this one. We did A, B, B, A, B, A, B, right? So the way that works is it would be, so in this example, it would be team 1 gets 1 pick, then they get 2 picks, then they get 2 picks, then they get 1, then they get 1, and then they get the last pick, right? And we also, this is when we had King of the Hill still in the lineup as well. So we did do a draft for King of the Hill. So this is game 1, first half, and you'll see all of this happen in real time because in the video, we sit through the draft as the teams are drafting, and they muted each other so that they couldn't hear the other team's choices and decisions when they were, doing it. Because I had to screen share. So we were in a Discord call, all 9 of us, and then, I muted everyone but the people, 1 person from each team to relay the information. So you can see here, I mean, look, they banned Saint on P Story's side, so they first picked Dahlia. And then on the other team, they went Runway Trench. And then they went Glitch Dallas. Then they went Kestrel. Then they went Shock. and then they went Seeker, right? So it was Dahlia, Runway Trench, Glitch Dallas, Kestrel Chalk, Seeker, right? So that was P-Story on defense, Canny's team on attack. And then we drafted for the second half where P-Story would be on attack and Canny. And what we did was we swapped it. So since P-Story's on attack for the second half, they'll get first pick. We did keep the same bands, though, to keep that consistent. And then game 2, we went to a King of the Hill where we did a similar style draft, but you're only drafting one time. A little bit different draft rogue wise because it's King of the Hill. They're on breach. Game 3, this is a demolition, and what we did was whatever you draft in the draft is what you use on attack and defense. So we did it that way as well. And then game 4, we had another King of the Hill, and it ended up being a 3-1. So the wager match was over. They won their money, but it was a good experiment. And I really like that we did it. So again, we did that way back in February, on February 5th to be exact. So about 4 months ago, 4 months and a week pretty much. So if you want, go back and check that out. Yeah. The rogues, the balances are still different and a couple things because now we're a couple updates later, right, after the fact. But still, the draft thing was pretty cool. I don't know if Glimpse was in the game at the moment. I can't remember. But it was pretty cool, and we tried different methods of it too. And that's really what I think is so cool about it, is because it brings a whole new dynamic to the game, right? It's like mental. There's a whole mental aspect of it now. Teams will, competitively will start to form together because they have certain play styles that fit each other. And, it's not, they have a rogue pool for each player now, rather than just like, hey, I can play these 3 rogues really, really good. Okay, that's great. But what happens if one of them gets banned, one of them gets picked? You're left with that one option. Is that good on that map? Is that good in our comp? Is that good? Maybe, we have to get other things in the draft first. Does it fit that? So I think it brings a whole new aspect to gameplay, especially with 4v4 coming back. And also the fact that, there's bans on maps. The map pool is open, I believe, again. There's bans on character rogues in the draft as well. So I think it brings a whole new dynamic, and there's a lot more strategy to be done now. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are on having the draft system, the current one. And if you've watched the wager match where we did different drafts, let me know, if any of those are sound interesting to you or feel better draft wise, pick wise, especially. But yeah. You know the deal. Keep grinding. I'm going to keep releasing videos, so hopefully you like, share, and subscribe them. And make sure you subscribe. I need 1,000 subs so I can get partnered, I'm tired of eating ramen noodles, guys. I go outside and I pick some grass. That's my lettuce. I'm just kidding. But much love to all of you, and we'll see you on the next one.
Oh, hello there. It's Blue. I'm a terrible dancer, so ignore that version of me on the screen and listen to my voice when I say thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and of course, click on another video of mine. I heard you'll like those over there. They're pretty good.